How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name is Hanson. I'm sitting in the 2021 Lexus RX350 F-Sport all-wheel drive, the Black Line Special Edition, and I'm here to share with you my likes and dislikes about this luxury midsize crossover so that you have a better idea before you buy. And make sure you stick around all the way till the end to hear my overall recommendations. And if you haven't already, please take this time to hit that subscribe button to see more videos like this one. Now let's get started with this review. The RX is the best-selling Lexus model, and it is consistently the best-selling luxury vehicle for almost a decade, clearing 100,000 units per year. And for the 2021 model year, Lexus has added the Black Line Special Edition. It's a very limited run model with special colors, wheels, headlights, and some extra goodies. Now, Lexus is making the Black Line Edition available for several models, and they're all very limited. But considering how many RX vehicles they sell, the Black Line version of the RX is ultra rare, with just 750 units made in this RX350 F-Sport trim and 250 in the hybrid RX450H F-Sport model. And I've also reviewed the hybrid RX450H before, so if you want to see that, please click the link up here. And like the title of the video, what I have here is the RX350 F-Sport all-wheel drive Black Line Special Edition. And this one starts at $50,635 for the all-wheel drive model, and this one retails for a little over $61,000 with all of the extra options. So what do you get with the Black Line Special Edition? The first thing that's unique is this paint. The blue on this is called Grecian Water. It's a very striking blue, and it really stands out. I think that's a great thing because there's a lot of these RXs on the road today, and they all sort of blend into the background. If you want to get noticed, this is the color to go with. Or if you're not a fan of the Grecian Water paint scheme, they also have the ultra white version, which looks pretty good with all the black that comes with this SUV. And the Black Line Edition has a lot of black colors in it. It has a literal black line along the side with these black vinyl decals. You'll also get the 20-inch black alloy wheels with black lug nuts, black chrome trim around the grille, black side view mirrors, and these premium triple beam headlights that also received the blacked out treatment. On the inside, you'll get the black interior with special white accents and also blue stitching on the seats. That's the same kind of blue that you'll find on the outside of the car, but for the seats, you'll get special white accents. On the transmission tunnel, you'll also see the special white upholstery, and there's more blue stitching around the side. If you look down, you'll find some floor mats with special blue stitching around the border, and that looks pretty unique. And on top of those things, you'll also get a special set of Lexus luggage, which are pretty damn expensive on their own. So the Black Line Special Edition is essentially an appearance package for a really solid vehicle. And there's a lot to like about the Lexus RX, which has looked somewhat the same since the 4th generation came out in 2015. The RX did get a slight facelift for the 2020 model year. The headlights look a lot sharper, and the LED daytime running lights look much more high quality and more smooth compared to the pre-facelift version, where you can actually see the individual LED bulbs. And this model being the RX F Sport, you'll find a different grille insert pattern. And you'll also find the same pattern on these brake ducts, which doesn't seem to be functional. Around the side, you'll find the floating roof design, which is a very popular design aesthetic, giving this midsize SUV a more fast-looking profile. You'll also notice that all 4 doors have the smart key sensors on them, so you can lock or unlock the SUV via any door. And around back, there's more F-Sport specific design signatures like these taillights and rear diffuser. All in all, this is a pretty sharp looking vehicle that's been improved with the Black Line Special Edition. And it's a pretty comfortable SUV as well, despite there being an F-Sport badge on the outside, which means that it should be sporty, but this still feels like a soft Lexus, and that's a great thing if you're looking for a comfortable commuter or a cruiser. The seats here feel pretty fantastic, and the materials are top-notch. There's plenty of seat adjustability, and there's also heating and ventilation. And I like that there's an auto setting on here so you don't have to mess around with the buttons very much. The seating position is also good. This being a mid-size crossover, you get pretty good ride height, so you get good visibility looking out through the greenhouse here. And from the driver's perspective, there's a lot of technology at your fingertips. First, this infotainment screen is 12.3 inches wide, and it's finally a touchscreen. So that's a good thing because you don't have to fiddle with this touchpad as much. Now this is a nice crisp display, which also works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration. I just have two issues with this display. The first one is that the infotainment system is still built for touchpad use. So for some buttons, like the menu button, I have to go down to this touchpad and press it to pull up the menu system. There is no button on the screen to pull this menu up. The same goes for the radio controls. If I want to go to the music page, I'd have to press this button on the center console here. Not that big of a deal, but it's kind of a mess from a user experience perspective. And the second issue is that there are some shortcut buttons on the right-hand side of the screen here, but this being a fairly large screen, if you're sitting on the driver's seat, these buttons here can be kind of a far reach. The same goes for this tune dial over here, which can be slightly out of reach. And I like the way Lexus did it for the LS, which is the flagship sedan, another wide car. They basically nestled the tune and the volume dials together into one convenient button, and they placed it nicely close to the driver so that it's within easy reach. Now looking through the steering wheel, the digital instrument cluster is nice. This is a much better look compared to the non-F Sport gauge cluster design. Right in the center is the tachometer, and that can change looks depending on the driving mode. And on the left-hand side, you'll find all of your various driving and sensor information. Sadly, or not, this gauge cluster doesn't have that neat party trick found on the LC and other models where the middle cluster can move left and right. Personally, not that big of a deal. As for the steering wheel, there's plenty of nice shortcut buttons, and there's also paddle shifters to control your 8-speed automatic transmission. The only thing I dislike about the steering wheel is the cruise control stalk. This is something that Lexus and Toyota have used for many years now, so if you're used to their cars, maybe that's a good thing, but I personally prefer to have those controls up here on the steering wheel. Looking forward, there's a large heads-up display unit, and it's chock full of good information on there that you don't ever have to take your eyes off the road. You'll also find your driving aid status on that display as well. And speaking of driving aids, this Lexus is equipped with Lexus Safety System Plus 2.0, which is a laundry list of awesome safety features, which means that this is equipped with a lot of safety sensors, and those sensors will make driving a lot more convenient. For example, this has dynamic radar cruise control, which means that the car can adjust its speed automatically depending on the person in front of you. This also explains why the badge is sitting behind a glass cover, because there can't be any obstruction in front of it. That also means that if there's a lot of rain or moisture or snow covering that badge, then that system isn't going to work as well or at all. And when you turn on the cruise control, that will also activate the lane tracing assist. Basically, there's a camera right in front of this rear view mirror that will detect the lane markers. So the sensors coupled with the cameras will help this car understand what's in front of it. So when you're driving this thing in highways, it can actually steer itself through gradual turns because it understands where the road is going, and it also understands the cars in front of it. As for the sides and the rear, this Lexus now comes standard with blind spot monitoring system and rear cross traffic alert. And on top of that, there's also a 360-degree camera system, which is the best thing since sliced bread, and it makes parking this thing a breeze. As for the rest of the car, the second row has a pretty good amount of legroom at 38 inches, but there's not a whole lot of extras in terms of convenience or comfort. Typically, you can find features like built-in sunshade and heated outboard seats. There's also no panoramic sunroof for the second row passengers to enjoy, a feature that's becoming more commonplace in these midsize SUVs. As for cargo space in the rear, it's not the best. There's only 16 cubic feet of space behind the second row, and with the second row folded down, you can get up to 32.7 cubic feet. It is nice that there are latches back here so you can easily fold the second row seats down. If you're looking for more space, there's an RXL, which is the long wheelbase option, and that gives you a third row. With all that being said, what is it like to drive the RX? This is a really comfortable SUV, and there's not a lot of noise from the outside. You really have a serene driving experience behind the wheel of the RX. It also doesn't feel as sporty as I would like, considering that this has an F Sport badge. Sure, there's an awesome sounding 3.5-liter V6 in the engine bay, making 295 horsepower and 268 pound-feet of torque. but combine it with the 4,200 pound weight of the RX350 and the additional drivetrain loss of the all-wheel drive system, this gives just an okay 0 to 60 time of around 8 seconds. And handling wise, it's perfect for highway driving and commuting, but it's not something I would choose if I like driving fast through back roads. The smooth and awesome ride quality of this RX just feels a bit out of place and unhappy in these back road scenarios. With that said, do I recommend the RX350 Blackline Edition? If you're looking for a really well-built SUV that looks attractive, then absolutely. There's a reason why people keep buying these things. They drive super comfortably, and they also have great reliability ratings. And there are other small features that don't add much to the driving experience, but add to the luxurious feel of the car. For example, you can't see any of the windshield wipers, the front or the rear wipers, from inside the car. And when you turn it on, it appears miraculously. Or the fact that this has the quietest window motor I've ever heard. It feels like there's butter inside there. But if you're looking for something with more sporting aspirations, I think there are better choices out there. For example, the Acura MDX is an agile competitor that has been redesigned for 2022. And the Mazda CX-9 is also a worthy option, and although it's not a luxury brand, it certainly doesn't look it from the inside. But overall, you can't go wrong with the RX, and with the Blackline Special Edition, this will help you stand out in the crowd if that's something that you want. Well, there you have it. That's my review of the 2021 Lexus RX 350 F Sport all-wheel drive Blackline Special Edition. I want to thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. If you've learned something, please consider hitting that like button. And if you haven't already, please take this time to hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime we make a new video. I'll wrap it up right there. My name's Hanson. This has been the RX 350, and I will see you next time.